This is SSPTV News, brought to you by Samsung Productions and the Hazleton Standard Speaker.
There's debate over a proposed asphalt plant in Sugarloaf Township. We'll hear from a concerned citizen next. Good evening and thank you for joining us at SSPTV News. I'm Ken Kara and this is your place for 24 hours of your hometown news and information, and it comes to you from SSPTV and the Hazleton Standard Speaker. A zoning hearing will take place later this month in Sugarloaf Township. It's a continuation of a hearing in November into a request by Glen-O-Ha-Baker Incorporated to build an asphalt plant in the township. In response to the proposal, a local citizens group has formed. Lisa Sugart talked to a member of the Sugarloaf Citizens Club.
On January 23rd, a continuation of a zoning hearing meeting will take place for the Sugarloaf Township Supervisors. It's being held, though, at the Sugarloaf Township Fire Hall, and it concerns an asphalt plant proposed for the Tom Hicken Road by Glen-O-Ha-Baker Incorporated. As a result of this proposal, a new group has sprung up, and it is called the Sugarloaf Citizens Club. Lex Sloot joins me now. He is a member of that organization, and he is also a nearby resident to where the plant is being proposed. Thank you so much for being here today. Tell us how this group came about and what their goal is.
Thank you for having me, Lisa. We learned just a couple of months ago that this asphalt plant was coming to the area, and there's 57 homes in the immediate area within maybe a quarter of a mile from where this plant's going to be, maybe slightly more. And the research we've done online indicates that there are many, many harmful, toxic, carcinogenic chemicals that these asphalt plants give off. So everyone is very concerned about that. There's also the smell that's going to come from the plant. We also learned at the first meeting that they're going to be producing about 150,000 tons a year of asphalt, and from various things they told us, that translated into about 7,500 trucks a year going up and down Tom Hicken Road and arriving at the intersection of Route 93 and Tom Hicken Road and the whole I-81 junction there. But 7,500 trucks taking materials means 15,000 trucks, because you've got to bring the raw materials in, the crushed stone and this and that. So we figured if the plant worked for just 8 months of the year, that would translate, with our math, down to 1 truck every 5 minutes on Tom Hicken Road in an 8-hour day.
So now you are looking for people to go to the meeting, and Glen-O-Ha-Baker will be presenting their facts and figures at this meeting. Do you think there's anything they can say that will make you feel secure if they construct this plant, if they get the approval of Sugarloaf Township supervisors?
I doubt it, because we all know what asphalt smells like, and a hot asphalt plant working, I think, 24 hours, because I think they're going to be loading trucks at 4 in the morning and that kind of thing as well. The trucks also give off a smell. You can't stop that. And from what we've read online, that is also a major problem. The trucks also give off the harmful chemicals. From where we are, and I know even people in Eagle Rock, we can smell the dog food plant in Humboldt North, which is 2.5 to 3 miles away from us. This is going to be like a quarter of a mile from us. So I'm not sure what's going to happen, what they could possibly do to eliminate the smell. The other problem with the toxic chemicals is these will rain down on Cunningham and Sugarloaf and nearby areas. Within a 2-mile radius, we have 1,000 students at Valley Elementary School and 800 students at the Penn State campus, let alone all the restaurants such as Perkins and Damon's and Denny's and so on, all within a 2-mile radius. And these harmful toxic chemicals are going to make their way into the ground, into all our well water, and create health problems for the children at the university and at Valley Elementary, let alone all the residents and families in Cunningham and Sugarloaf.
Well, there is a Facebook page that has been created by this organization, so people, I guess, are getting information there and joining on the Facebook page. You're asking people to come out to the meeting, and you said you plan on sending out flyers as well prior to the meeting. We
will be sending out flyers prior to the meeting to many areas surrounding where this plant is going to be.
Well, DEP says there's regulations and everything that will be in place that will hopefully answer some of your questions. You will see, I guess, what transpires at this meeting, but you're hoping a lot of people come out to get informed.
Absolutely, and we hope that we're going to get a lot of people to protest this thing coming. The other thing we found online that was surveyed a that we found in North Carolina. They found out that an asphalt plant was put up and homes within a couple of mile radius dropped by 56% the value of these homes. That means that with these toxic chemicals raining down on Cunningham and Sugarloaf and so on, we can expect our property values to drop dramatically. Well, then I see all residents going to get reassessments on their properties and the whole tax base dropping. What are the supervisors going to do then? How are they going to run these townships? Because we can't afford to have our property values drop because of this, and it's going to affect many, many hundreds and hundreds of homes in the area.
Well, more details will definitely come out on January 23rd, the meeting being held at the Sugarloaf Township Fire Hall. As of this recording, we didn't know the exact time of the meeting. We will let you know what transpires, and Gleno Hawbaker Incorporated, of course, we will try to have them on the show as well so that they can explain their proposal. The land is zoned mining and industrial at this time. It will be in the hands of the Sugarloaf Township supervisors to decide whether or not this does become a reality, and we will keep you posted on what progresses at that meeting and afterwards.
Thanks, Lisa. Now, SSPTV News has reached out to Gleno Hawbaker Incorporated to invite them in to discuss their plans for the proposed asphalt plant. However, we have yet to receive a response. Meanwhile, the Sugarloaf Citizens Club will meet Sunday at 6:30 p.m. at Bonanza Steakhouse on Route 93. In other news, one candidate has thrown his hat into the ring for the 2018 Pennsylvania governor's race. State Senator Scott Wagner, a Republican, made one of 3 announcements yesterday at the Gilberton Power Company's John B. Rich Memorial Power Station near Frackville. Democratic Governor Tom Wolf is in his first term in Harrisburg. Wagner's announcement gives him a 16-month start on the 2018 election. It's an event designed to promote socialization for families with autism. This Saturday, the nonprofit group Parents and Professionals is inviting all families with autism to take part in Autism Bowl 2017. There will be free bowling and food. The Autism Bowl is from 2 till 5 p.m. this Saturday at Stanton Lanes. Please RSVP by calling 570-823-8048 or 570-328-5099, or you can email dtiert@verizon.net. It's now the most wonderful time of the week on SSPTV Pizza Time. Frankie's Cold Pizza and their Pizza Express is now bringing their box cold pizza to your door. You have a chance to win a box of 12 slices of Frankie's Cold Pizza with their signature sauce and cheese blend, baked fresh all day with no preservatives. Call 570-459-9813, extension 104. Leave your name and number, and the winner will be drawn at random. You must pick up your prize at Frankie's by the close of business on Sunday. And be sure to check out the delivery schedule for Frankie's Express on their Facebook page. Coming up, he's an icon in broadcasting. We'll hear from retired WNEP TV weatherman Tom Clark about his plans for the future. And did you know the president of the entire Penn State Alumni Association has local roots? We'll chat with him about his many travels to watch the Penn State football team this season in sports.
This is SSPTV News, brought to you by Samsung Productions and the Hazleton Standard Speaker.
Well, it is my pleasure to have in our studios today the one and only Tom Clark, the former chief meteorologist at WNEP TV, who worked there for 34 years.
34 years, yeah.
When I heard you were retiring, I'm not gonna lie, I was like sad, because you are an institution in local television in northeastern Pennsylvania.
Well, gee, thanks. I was an icon, you know, and 34
Still are?
years. Still are, okay. Yeah, it was a great run. I was so blessed and so fortunate to have had such a long tenure at that great station.
Nobody these days has runs like that, so they really loved you, the people that you worked for and the people who watched you.
And that's it. I forever thank the loyalty of our viewers. They were so loyal, helping to keep us #1, and that was huge, you know. And for all those years, the ratings were just sky high. I guess there was no reason to need to get rid of me, because of high ratings. But viewer loyalty is just fantastic.
But you always had such a nice way of bringing us the weather. We understood it. You weren't over anyone's head. You talked to us.
right.
You were like a member of our family telling us the weather.
Sure. Yep. Well, that was my style. That was me. I was kind of meek at the beginning. Smile, Tom. Smile, smile. But you loosen up and you develop a style and a delivery and a pace. But yeah, it was kind of like low key. And I think that went a long way with me. I think the viewers appreciated, pretty straightforward. Don't give me a lot of drama,
Yeah.
And it worked for me.
Oh, it definitely did.
Sure.
I miss you there already, I'll tell you. So
thanks.
what's it like? I know you're only newly retired, but what was it like when you didn't have to get up to go to work?
Overwhelming. I think I'll roll over and sleep another hour. But to not have that schedule, that routine, that pressure to always keep an eye on the clock, it was a great feeling, Lisa. And this is early on in my retirement now, so far so good. But it's kind of overwhelming. It's still sinking in. But to think that every day is Saturday now, and I can make my own schedule. But I look back with a lot of gratitude and fondness of my career. I was so blessed.
Well, that's really nice for you to say. But you're not getting away from it because your wife, Noreen, is still a meteorologist
She is,
at
yeah.
Channel 16. And your daughter is a meteorologist, so
She
it's
is.
in your blood.
The Clark family of meteorologists. We all went to Penn State.
Me too.
Did you? Yeah. And Kristen, our daughter, she's out in Minneapolis working for a private weather service. So she is still in broadcast meteorology in Noreen. So it is pretty unusual,
That'll be funny when she comes home. You see her on the TV or what? Are you going to be jealous and saying, "I want to get in there and do that again"?
I'm done. No, I'm done. It's all yours.
You don't miss the complaints, I'm sure, because that weather is a job where people can complain to us about the news sometimes, but poor weathermen, they get beat up.
You need a thick skin in this business. And the complaints, they're few and far between. Most people understand the limitations of forecasting the weather and being accurate, but you get it. Social media especially. There's a bit of arrogance out there, and you gotta let it roll off your back. And some days are difficult.
Yeah.
The days when you had predicted 3 inches of snow and you got 6.
Yep.
Some people just are born to complain.
That is so true. That is so true. So now, what lies ahead for you? What are you thinking? Have you made any plans, or what are you going to do?
No definite plans, like having a schedule. I want to kind of avoid that for now. But I have hobbies. I have a hobby of model trains. I like to collect vintage weather instruments. I got a basement full of old instruments that need hooking up and wiring, so my basement's a mess. I got to get down there and work with that. Gardening, landscaping, I love that. I can't wait for spring when I have more time to do that. And visit family. Get in the car and go. And get down to the airport and fly. I want to travel. I want to visit some places. Yeah.
I wish you the best with that. Lastly, though, is there going to be a place in your house somewhere where you're going to go over and sneak in and check out the weather forecast and still do some predictions there?
Absolutely. Yes. I will always dabble in the weather. That's been my hobby since 6th grade. So even though the formality has ended, the hobby will continue.
That's great to hear. Well, we just want to say thank you for
Thank
what
you,
you
Lisa,
did
for having me on.
for everybody for so many years. We miss you dearly, but we wish you the best because you have truly earned the right to go have fun and enjoy it. But thanks for making the weather fun for us for all these years.
Thank you, Lisa, for having me on the show. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for watching. As I've always said, thanks for watching.
That is so true. This is going to be one of my favorite interviews ever. Tom Clark, come back, see us again.
I will. Thank you, Lisa.
Pleasure.
Thanks again, Lisa. Tom Clark will be a guest on the Sam Lassant Show. It premieres tomorrow at noon with rebroadcasts at 7 p.m. and 9:30 p.m. on SSPTV and SSPTV.com. Check local listings for additional dates and times. And now I have to follow that up by doing the weather.
Time now for weather on SSPTV News.
It was windy but warm across the area today. The warm temps are going to take the weekend off, though. Here's our local forecast from the National Weather Service. Tonight, 60% chance of showers mainly before 10 p.m. Our low will be 33 degrees. Friday looks partly sunny, with the high in the mid-30s, and then at night we'll see increasing clouds with a low of 18. Saturday, 40% chance of some snow, cloudy with a high of only 27. Saturday night, a chance of flurries, low of 21. Sunday, mostly sunny with a high of 32, and then on Sunday night, partly cloudy, low of 23 degrees. On Martin Luther King Jr. Day, a chance of flurries, mostly cloudy with a high of 33, and then Monday night, a 30% chance of snow, freezing rain and sleet, cloudy with a low of 30 degrees. Before we hit our break, here's your midday winning lottery numbers on SSPTV News. Pick 290, pick 3 206. Your pick 4 numbers 5421 and pick 5 69022. The many adventures of Penn State Alumni Association CEO Paul Clifford when we come back with sports.
Time now for sports on SSPTV News.
Last year, we interviewed Cunningham native Paul Clifford just as he was getting ready to become the CEO of the Penn State Alumni Association. How has his first year been at the job? Well, it requires a lot of traveling, but I don't think this lifelong Nittany Lion fan is complaining. Before every Penn State football game, Paul Clifford, the CEO of the Penn State Alumni Association, asks his friends on Facebook where they are watching the game. The comments then come flooding in. Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, Littleton, Massachusetts, Baltimore, Maryland, Las Vegas, Nevada, at sea. After a rough few years, the Penn State family came together for the holidays. For the new year, all eyes were on Pasadena, and during a pep rally before the big Rose Bowl game against USC, those eyes were focused on a man from Cunningham, Pennsylvania. Clifford.
It is an unusual requirement of the job to be able to stand on stage and get 12,000 people, 10,000, 12,000 people fired up at a pep rally.
Did you do a "We Are"? Because I would feel like I would just want to get the response.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. It's if you start with the "We Are" and end with the "We Are," it doesn't matter what you say in between that. Really, I mean that's all people want to do and get fired up. I was also able to get a little bit of mileage at Ohio State's expense. The pep rally happened the day after Ohio State lost their semifinal game where they were shut out, and I was able to get on stage and ask people if they saw that game and mention that that's maybe perhaps what you get when you send the second place team for the playoffs.
The "We Are" chant is very special to Penn Staters. Let me put it this way. If Neil Armstrong went to Penn State, the first words on the moon would have been a lot different. Here's a bunch of Penn Staters getting ready for their trip out to Pasadena.
And I think we ought to get this flight started off with our favorite cheer. We're ready. We are
Penn State!
We are
Penn State!
We are
Penn State!
Thank you.
Clifford witnessed the Nittany Lion football team upset Ohio State in Beaver Stadium. He watched Grant Haley and Marcus Allen stop Wisconsin on 4th down in the Big Ten championship game in Indianapolis. And yes, he was on stage with Penn State greats Kajana Carter and Michael Motti in Los Angeles. Yet his favorite part of this ride was watching others enjoy it.
The way that it moves people to emotion. I mean, the tears that we saw in Indianapolis and in after the Ohio State game. But what I'll remember most, and this is maybe a little corny, but you mentioned the pep rally that we had in Los Angeles. So I got to stand on stage up there with some of these guys who were my heroes, and I got to see how I could see the look on my dad's face, who wasn't too far from the stage. And we've kind of shared this Penn State experience with each other, but just to see how proud he was of Penn State and kind of what I'm doing now. And that's my favorite part. Is Penn State's always been about family for me, and to just see how this season has kind of brought family together, both personal family, but then like the Nittany Nation back together around football. I think it's been pretty exciting to see.
Some called it the greatest Rose Bowl ever. It was a back-and-forth battle, and it looked like Penn State was going to end up on top. But a late interception and Southern Cal field goal gave the Rose Bowl championship to the Trojans. Even after such a great season, it was a bitter pill to swallow for many Penn State fans. Clifford sees a silver lining in a blue and white sky.
Obviously, the ending of the Rose Bowl was disappointing for a lot of Penn Staters, but it was mere moments after the game that I realized, this season was a lot more than wins and losses. It was about players learning how to win. It was about community coming together. It was about shocking the world when we blocked that kick and take the lead against Ohio State and ultimately upset them. The season was a lot more than just more about wins and losses. And so as I look back on that entire experience from the entire season and just the Rose Bowl experience, I said to my wife, I'm like, this was so much fun. I've never felt, this good after a loss, because it was more than just a football game.
So with heads held high on the way home, this happened.
So again, I just wanted to say thank you on behalf of the Alumni Association and on behalf of the Nittany Lion Club for traveling to the Rose Bowl with us. It's amazing how this university brings the family together in so many different ways, and it was so great to travel with you here to the Rose Bowl. And we'll be back, and we'll do this again next year. How's that sound? One final time. We are. Penn State. We are. Penn State. We are. Penn State. Thank you.
Okay, in fairness, the second "we are" was definitely not as enthusiastic as the first, but you get the point. Clifford did talk about Penn State head football coach James Franklin, the basketball team's game at the legendary Palestra in Philadelphia, and more, and we'll save all that for another day here on SSPTV News. Let's get social now with our social report.
Good evening, everyone, and here's tonight's Talk of the Town report. First tonight, Christ Lutheran Church in Cunningham will be holding their annual Super Bowl soup sale on Saturday, January 28th. We'll be having 14 varieties of soup, and proceeds benefit local charities. Call to order by January 23rd, 570-788-4219, and pickup will be held from noon to 2 p.m. Our next announcement, General and Bariatric Surgeon Martin Walco with the Lehigh Valley Physician Group will be holding a free information session Monday, January 16th from 6 to 8 p.m. at the Health Center in Mountaintop. Bariatric surgery, often known as weight loss surgery, is a treatment option for people living with morbid obesity and who are struggling with successful weight loss. The information session is free, but space is limited. Register by calling 570-501-4584. And finally, the Pennsylvania Theater for the Performing Arts will be presenting Catch Me If You Can January 13th and 14th at 7 p.m. and on the 15th at 3 p.m. The performances will be held at the J.J. Farrar Center, 212 West Broad Street in downtown Hazleton. A full dinner buffet is available 90 minutes prior to curtain. Reservations are required for dinner. Tickets and reservations are available by calling 570-454-5451 or by visiting ptpashows.org. That's tonight's Talk of the Town. SSPTV News would like to send sincere condolences to the family and friends of these recently departed. Heather Ann Hoffmaster of Shavertown. Funeral will be held privately at the convenience of the family and under the direction of the Harmon Funeral Home. Thelma Johnston of Hazleton. All services will be held privately and under the direction of the Rosenstock Funeral Home. And John J. Kirschman of Whitehaven. Funeral is Saturday at 2 p.m. at the Lehman Family Funeral Service. Friends may call Saturday from noon to 2 p.m. Attention pay-per-view subscribers, if you see your name right now on News 13, you'll have 13 minutes to call in and win a free movie from Service Electric Cablevision. Our winner tonight is Diane Slusser of West Hazleton. Diane, if you're watching, give us a call, 570-455-7267, extension 104.
Tonight, the Muhammad Ali exhibit opens at the Walk-In Art Center in Schuylkill Haven. If you can't make it tonight, check it out another day. Take it easy, everyone.